At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger, and just a quick reminder here for those of you that are big Reading Rodeo fans. You know what? They are selling out quickly. I know there are a couple of days that are sold out for the Reading Rodeo, so you got to get to readingrodeo.com today, right now. Reserve your tickets while you can, because you know what? I have a feeling they may sell these out, all of the tickets, before we even get to the events themselves. You can also call the box office at area code 530-241-8559 and reserve your tickets today. And by the way, you can also win some tickets. I've got several pairs of tickets that I'll be giving away next week. And all you got to do is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, and you can just give me your name. That's all I need is your name here. You can also go to weathernorcal.com and see where it says right up here. See the mouse right here? It says contact. So I'm going to push contact. It says contact us. Put your name, your email, and say, hey, I want to win, whatever you want to put in there. And then push send right there. See, it says send. And then you are good to go, my friends. So that's what we got going on here with the ticket giveaway here. We've got Lisa Stevens checking in this morning. She is saying, good morning, halfway through the week. Work week, that is. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Gotta love that. Wonderful Wednesday, absolutely. By the way, don't forget to download that free app today. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store, or just take your phone, point it right at that QR code right there, and it'll give you instructions on how to download the app for free today. All right, let's get you to Krueger's Quickcast. This is for your Wednesday, May 7th. For those of you that just want to head out the door, know what to expect here for today. Well, here you go. Quick look at your forecast for today is calling for temperatures on the mild side once again here, especially for the valley, sunny skies. There is some fog, there are some low clouds, there is some basically overcast skies for many of you along the coast right now. You know, you may run into a little bit of mist, a little drizzle, but overall it's dry. And it's dry for everyone else as well, and really not too terribly cold as we go into 8 o'clock this morning. Now, right now, it's pretty cold in Alturas. You're right at that freezing point, 32 degrees, 39 for Susanville, 38 in Quincy, but even cooler for the valley. You may have noticed we've got some cooler air that's kind of moving in with this weak disturbance. That's going to allow those temperatures to get down to the low to mid 50s here, as we're seeing right now. Now, also one of the reasons why the winds are much calmer and will be calmer here over the next couple of days. Temperatures right around 50 for those of you along the coast, mid 40s inland. Now, look at the winds right now. See, again, they're mainly below 10 miles per hour in most cases here. And we take a look at the winds for today, later this afternoon. They will pick up a little bit from the south, but most likely not over 20 miles per hour. So still a little breezy out there, but a south wind is actually better. If you had a choice between a north or a south wind, you always want to pick south winds, because south winds don't promote drier air as much as the north winds. And I say promote, typically it doesn't dry the air out as much. However, that being said, it's still dry. It's going to be dry. But we'll get into that a little bit later here. But there you can see, looking at your forecast winds for tomorrow, another calm start to the day. That should make for another cool start to the day as well. Now, you see the big line of clouds that are over the that's over the Pacific that's approaching? I'll take this mouse here. You can see it right here. All those clouds are right there. That is what's approaching Northern California. And of course, you can see the rain that's associated with that over the Pacific Northwest and over Canada. We won't see much in the way of rain. And I say that because Siskiyou County may see some afternoon showers. Very light, very few and far between, and most likely not even happening for most of you. So there you can see mostly cloudy skies here for the coast. You've got a few clouds developing in the afternoon, especially for the mountains, and even the valley seeing some of those clouds. But look at this. See those showers developing in parts of Siskiyou County? Now, this is showing maybe even the potential for thunderstorms. I don't think we're going to see thunderstorms. I just think you may see a stray shower here and there for parts of Siskiyou County, maybe even northwestern Modoc County, seeing some of that. But otherwise, I think everyone else will be dry, and it will be dry for everyone else, including Siskiyou and Modoc County, through the night tonight, and still some fog and low clouds along the coast. So for today, we'll call it mainly sunny for the valley, but I think you'll see some clouds coming in later in the afternoon, and that's the case for pretty much everyone else. Partly cloudy for Trinity County, partly cloudy for the inland areas, mostly cloudy for the coast. And again, maybe a stray shower for some of you in Siskiyou County. Temperatures tonight are dropping down to the mid to upper 50s for the higher elevations in the 30s and 40s. I'm expecting mid to upper 40s here for the coast. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, starting off with the valley dry through Sunday. So after today, we're going to see temperatures increase, low 90s. Now, if you recall, earlier this week, I was saying somewhere in the mid to maybe even upper 90s for those daytime highs. Forecast models are trending not as hot. So we'll call it low 90s for Friday, Saturday, and then temperatures start to drop by Sunday for your Mother's Day, but much, much cooler by Monday, and maybe a chance for showers on Monday. I think the better chances for showers on Monday will be in the coast and higher elevations. But by that being said, Sunday, we may see some showers move in as early as Sunday afternoon for the coast, inland, and maybe even Trinity County. Siskiyou County, maybe on Sunday as well. For now, I'm going to keep you dry through the weekend with showers on Monday, possible showers Tuesday. Modoc County in the Eastern Mountains, you're going to hold off until Monday as well. Significantly cooler across the board. Snow levels, by the way, will probably be above 6,000 and even 7,000 feet. We're getting that time of the year. We don't have to be too concerned about how that will impact mountain travel. But, you know, there may be some of those impacts, especially over the Tahoe region. More on that a little bit later, taking a look at Lake Oroville, and it looks like we've got the much calmer winds out there this morning, making for a beautiful conditions out there in the lake. If you're a rower, if you get on the kayak, looks like you've got some good conditions out there this morning, just maybe a little chilly for some. Taking a look at Main Street Chico on Highway 32, and you can see the sunny skies we do have, creating a lot of shadows on the roads there, as well as Highway 99 at Neal Road. Taking a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive exit. You got the sunny skies there as well, and Crescent City is going to be absolutely gorgeous this morning. Looks like we've got just some of the clouds. See the mostly cloudy skies. Doesn't look like much in the way of fog or even low clouds, just a lot of the clouds kind of overhead, and there are some breaks in those clouds out there this morning. We take a look at what it looks like at Elk Country. Looks like the camera may have moved or reset itself. It's been offline a few times here. I don't see any elk though, but I tell you, every time I look at that image, I'm like, oh, I love being out there. That's such a great place to camp. And this is also the time of day when in the morning, boy, the birds are really active. They're flying around. They're jumping on top of the camera. Sometimes you can see their little tail feathers on the camera there as well. But yeah, every once in a while, you'll see a bird kind of coming right at the camera, and then it just comes right on top of the camera itself right there. So definitely interesting there. Let's take a look. Well, let's go back to the camera here, and we'll get ready for kind of the bigger forecast here. But in the meantime, we're going to take a look at see what Jim has to say. Good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day. Jim, looks like kind of a cool profile picture there with some kind of fish. I'm not much of an angler. I don't know much about fish, so I can't tell you what kind of fish that is. So there you go. Although I'd probably be in heaven if I was an angler or fisherman, because this is such a beautiful area. A lot of great fishing out there. I know that there's lake, there's ocean fishing, there's river fishing, there's salmon, and I mean just all kinds of great opportunities for those of you that love to fish. So that's what's so awesome about this area. Well, what do you say we get to our deeper dive forecast? And before we do that, we need to mention our sponsor, which is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks again to Wind River for all of their support. Once again, we're going to just give you a quick reminder that you need to get those tickets right away if you're a big fan of the Reading Rodeo, because those tickets are selling out fast, folks. So go to readingrodeo.com today, now, whenever you can, get your tickets reserved, because there's a very good chance the day you want to go, it may not be. It would be sold out. You may not have available tickets. You can also call them at 530-241-8559. And also, I'm having a ticket giveaway. I will have a ticket giveaway, not be having. Come on, grammar. I will have a ticket giveaway next week, early next week, and you can enter by going to mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. I'll have several sets of tickets to give away, so be sure to put in your entry now. And then we'll kind of get everything ready to go for next week to give away those tickets. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our temperatures out there right now. We're talking low to mid 50s in the valley, 30s, right at the freezing point for Alturas. It's chilly this morning, 39 degrees for Susanville, and we're right around 50 for the coast. Taking a look at your headlines, weaker winds and slight temperature drop for today. That's going to be across the board here. Warming trend, though, after today. And instead of the mid to upper 90s that I was initially thinking, probably more like the low to mid 90s for those daytime highs for Friday and Saturday. That's the peak of the warming trend. After that, temperatures do drop, and we got a big drop in temperatures by early next week, and maybe even a chance for a few showers, especially for the higher elevations and coast. Slimmer chances for the valley, which we'll get into here in a second. This is what I'm watching right now. You can see this this boundary. This is what's going to be moving through today. That's going to give us some of the cloud cover that we'll see. Now, it's not going to be a big deal. You're going to see some passing high, maybe a few mid-level clouds, and there may even be a developing shower for parts of Siskiyou County, right? But the winds, look at this. The winds are much calmer out there this morning. That's making for a cooler start to the day. Now, the winds may pick up a little bit this afternoon. We'll call it breezy by the time we get into midday. We're talking 10, 15, maybe even 20 miles per hour for the valley, coming in from the south. Now, a south wind is much more favorable than that of a north wind because a south wind doesn't tend to dry the air out as much. That being said, that doesn't mean it will, that the humidity will be high, because it won't. And there will still be that moderate fire danger. Now, we also still have those winds coming in from the west, a little breezy out in the eastern mountains. Now, we take you into your Thursday morning. Beautiful, looking at the calm winds, picking up a little bit in the afternoon. This is typical. You see the calm winds in the morning, they pick up a little bit in the afternoon. And then you can see 15, maybe 20 miles per hour on Friday, but generally from the south. Certainly better than that north wind. So let's take a look at Futurecast. This afternoon, 3 p.m., we're seeing some of the clouds begin to move in, especially in the mountains. You may see a passing high cloud for the valley. Mostly cloudy skies here for the coast, but dry. Now look at this. Siskiyou and even Modoc County seeing the potential for a stray shower. Now, I don't think we're going to see thunderstorms here today, but you could see a passing stray shower here and there. Don't count on much, if anything, really. And then you can see some of the clouds that are starting to kind of come into the valley as well. That's this evening at 6 o'clock. Let's take you into tonight, 10 o'clock. Still looking at a few clouds out there, especially for the coast, but clearing skies here by tomorrow morning. Still the fog for many of you along the coast here tomorrow morning, but by the afternoon that burns off. Some afternoon clouds in some of the higher elevations on Thursday, but otherwise it's going to be a dry and warmer day. Friday even warmer with sunny skies, although it looks like maybe some fog developing here Friday morning, especially for Humboldt County. That continues into Friday afternoon, but dry and sunny everywhere else. Longer range. Now we're talking about the potential for some showers entering the picture here. This right here. Remember that cool down I was talking about, that big cool down? That's this right here. This is what's called a trough of low pressure. Cooler air associated with that. The main area of low pressure is up to the north. This is Sunday, by the way. We're beginning to see, I think this is where most of the showers will be. That may be a little hard pressed in Siskiyou County, but we'll see. Again, we're looking at the American forecast model, so it's a little bit more aggressive than that of the European forecast model. And to be honest, I'm a little bit more in line with what the European forecast model is calling for. So I'd say Sunday, basically Trinity County westward, Del Norte, Humboldt County's a chance for showers, but you can see the bulk of it still off to the west. By the time we go into Sunday night and through the day on Monday, you see the spin. There's the area of low pressure. That's going to bring everybody a chance for some rain. Snow levels mainly above 6,000, 7,000 feet. Even the valley could see some showers, but you'll notice a bit of that horseshoe that we're seeing here. That's because most of the showers will be for the coast and in the higher elevations. I don't expect much for the valley for your Monday. Let's take you into Tuesday, and as I mentioned, this particular forecast model a little more aggressive with any showers through next week. And I say that because when we look at Wednesday and Thursday of next week, what you're seeing here with this model, Wednesday, this is the first day of the rodeo, by the way. Here you can see some of the showers in the higher elevations. So you'll look at this, and especially if you're going to an outdoor event, you don't want to see any rain over Northern California, because when you see that, you're like, oh my gosh, it's going to rain. Here's what I'm going to say. First day of the Redding Rodeo, I don't think you're going to see any rainfall. I think if we see anything, it'll be in the higher elevations. Now, this also looks pretty ominous, doesn't it? Maybe we go into Thursday, and that would bring us more rain. But take a look at the intensity of this. Light shades of green indicating light rain. This, my friends, is very weak. So by the time it moves over Northern California, it may bring some light showers for parts of the mountains, but not the valley. That's next Thursday. So here's really the bottom line when we start the Redding Rodeo. At this point, here's what I'm anticipating. That just in time for it to start, we're really dropping those temperatures down. we start to see those temperatures really struggle to get out of the 60s for Monday and even Tuesday. But by Wednesday, back in the 70s, 80s by the time we get to Thursday, Friday. But just some gorgeous weather. And at this point, as I mentioned, I don't anticipate any rainfall for the Reading Rodeo during all 4 days. That's what I'm seeing at this point. Nothing guaranteed. Whenever you've got that rain approaching, even if it's mainly just for the mountains, we are not entirely out of the woods. That's why we've got to watch it closely. Cooler than normal temperatures. That's the cooler weather I was talking about as we do go through the Reading Rodeo event here. But there it is. There's the peak Friday, Saturday. All right, so if you're going to the rodeo next week and you're going, my gosh, it's in the low 90s, it's super hot, it's going to be hot at the rodeo. No, look at this. Boom, by Monday, Tuesday, you're in the upper 60s, maybe around 70, and then ticking back upward, but even low 80s, right around normal by the time we go into Thursday, Friday. So first day of the Reading Rodeo, second day, third day, right? And then, of course, Saturday, probably somewhere in the low to mid 80s. But as I mentioned, I do expect it to remain dry. All right, let's take a look at the lake levels out there. Shasta Lake, Trinity Lake, Oroville all have seen minor increases, that is, over the last 24 hours. Capacity is great. Lakes are looking great. They're healthy. Nothing to be concerned about. All right, let's talk about the fire weather risk. And we're getting that time of the year. We need to at least just have it in the back of our minds, all right, folks, because it's that time of the year where as we see more and more of these north wind events like we've seen over the last several days, what that does is it really sucks out any moisture in the atmosphere and it sucks out the moisture in the fuels. So what you're probably noticing, and I've been mentioning this, is that we're beginning to see more and more of those dry grasses. This, as a result, means more and more fuel for fires should they start. Now, what we're seeing here for today, winds coming from the south. Humidity yesterday was in the low teens, even some single digits. Today, around 20%. Now, that's higher, that's good, but still keep in mind, 20% is still rather low, and still it can, dry things out pretty quickly. Look at this. Even though Thursday we have a bit of a south wind, it'll be weaker south winds on Thursday. As a result, still very low humidity levels, down to about 10% for many parts of the valley. That may increase that fire danger a little bit. All right, so we look at the wave heights, not changing much over the next couple of days. There's Thursday, and that'll be the case again on Friday as well. Here's a marine forecast here for your Wednesday. Northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots. Your combined seas at about 6 feet, and there are no small craft advisories. All right, so here's your forecast for today, looking at Trinity County. You got dry conditions through Saturday. As I mentioned, maybe as early as Sunday, a chance for showers. Better chance for that rain, though, going into Monday. All right, taking to the south here, temperatures mainly in the 70s for Forest Glen and Ruth, but temperatures around Hayfork and north of Highway 299, mainly in the low 80s. There's a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast. You can see Miranda down to Garberville, low 70s. Chance for showers as early as Sunday for everyone for the North Coast, including the inland areas. There you can see low 60s for Ferndale, Fortuna, Hydesville, and Rio Dell. Up north, about 78 degrees in Hoopa, 80 for Willow Creek. So, yeah, just another beautiful mild day there. Cooler along the coast with mostly cloudy skies, and we'll call it partly cloudy for the inland areas this afternoon, but dry. 63 in Smith River, 57 degrees in Klamath, and 60 out in Orick today. Siskiyou County, now there could be a stray shower for some of you. I'd say especially for central and eastern Siskiyou County. So, for example, Happy Camp, Horse Creek, I think your chances may be a bit slimmer for a stray shower, as well as places in Scott Valley. Although if you see a stray sprinkle or a light shower, don't be surprised. Otherwise, you're dry. Temperatures upper 70s for today, mainly dry through at least the weekend. Let's take a look at Siskiyou County Central East. All right, so here, all of these areas here have that chance for a stray shower this afternoon. Don't expect it to be much. If anything, it'll be few and far between, and many of you will make it through the day without seeing a drop of rain. Again, as I've got you dry on Sunday, I'm going to be watching that closely, especially as that system comes in on Sunday. It may push a little bit farther to the east, and especially into, say, central and western Siskiyou County Sunday. But then, by the time we go to Sunday night, Monday, yes, everyone's got that chance for rain, including Modoc County, but dry through the weekend there as well. You may see a stray shower for places like Newell, for example. and off to the north and to the west. But otherwise, I think it should be dry throughout the day today. All right, there's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Dry today, Bernie. You're looking at dry conditions through Sunday. Then by Monday, you've got that better chance for showers moving on in. And really everyone in the Eastern Mountains seeing dry conditions through the weekend. Chance for showers and much cooler. Look at Lassen Park, down to the upper 30s. Man, oh man, it's getting cold there. Even Chester, low 50s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. Paradise, you're topping out at about 75 degrees today. 70 in Janesville, 79 degrees in Susanville. Dry through the weekend and showers moving in by Monday. All right, take a look at your valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Just a beautiful day out there today. Looking at a few high clouds entering the picture. Dry through Sunday. Maybe a chance for showers. And I'll say this, chances for showers in the valley are not looking all that great on Monday. With that said, the farther south you go, the even slimmer the chances of those showers. So as you head north, for example, better chances around Redding. So there's your 7-day forecast for Chico. Low 90s by Friday, Saturday, your Mother's Day. Absolutely gorgeous. It'll be dry. It'll be mainly sunny. Temperatures in the low 80s. A good day for a hike or a picnic. Temperatures upper 60s to around 70 for your Monday and Tuesday. So much cooler as we go into next week. 80 degrees for Lakehead and Whiskey Town, that is. 84 for the city of Shasta Lake. 85 in Redding, and Cottonwood about 84 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Redding. It's warming up after today in the low 90s by Friday and Saturday. Low 80s for your Mother's Day. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful weather for your Mother's Day. And then temperatures in the upper 60s for your Monday, Tuesday. Monday, yeah, chance for showers, but don't expect much, if anything, quite honestly. What I've been noticing here lately is the forecast models tend to start off fairly aggressive once you go out 7, 8, 9 days. And then as we get closer to that time frame, we see it get less and less aggressive. Now, we saw that with the last storm system that moved through last weekend, where we just didn't see much in the way of anything here for the valley. But, 7 days before that, it was much more aggressive with that rain. So again, it just depends on where you are. But the valley, probably not seeing much rain as we do go into Monday, but there still is going to be that chance nonetheless. So that's going to pretty much do it for your forecast here today. We're checking in with some of you this morning here, and we have got Craig and Christy Swift saying, rain will be welcome, but I worry about frost in Hayfork. We're still not out of the woods for that frost here. You did drop down to 32 degrees in Alturas this morning, and, Trinity County, even you could see some of that frost. So I know it's tempting to start planting and getting everything ready for, spring here, but you've got to just kind of watch that as we see these cool spells come later this weekend, really, as we go into Sunday, Monday. We've also got Curtis Brown checking in this morning as well. He's simply saying good morning. Also, looks like he's got a nice fish there in his profile picture. So I want to thank everyone for watching this morning, and I hope you have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful day. Should be a little bit more in the way of cloud cover. We don't expect temperatures to really warm up a whole lot. It's later this week that those temperatures will increase significantly. Until then, until I see you tomorrow morning, that is, we will see you at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, tomorrow. Till then, have a great day.